Welcome to the Evening Gamer. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Guy. Welcome, everybody, to the penultimate episode of the year.
Yes, we've extended the season.
We've extended the season. We're going to do this one and one more. That is the definition of penultimate.
I've been thinking, like, when we hopefully this gets to a point where we kind of make our own fucking media company production thing, right?
I love the sound of it.
And I've been thinking about what's the name going to be? One more time media.
One more time. Well, we were
like
going with 100%. Yeah, 100%.
We used to say 100%.
Yeah. We were going with that for a while. Today we're doing Ghost of
Tsushima.
Tsushima.
You're going to point at me every single time you need.
Because I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of it. Tsushima. And we did get a write-in. My brother from another mother wrote back in. I've been meaning to get back to him. He's had a hell of a run with injury. I feel like him and you, I know you've had a bad run with injuries. But
I love injuries.
Yeah, right. Okay. The active recovery or the...
My life has happened in increments between injuries. Honestly, it's been a fucking joke.
They do leave a mark where you remember that time because you're just in a recovery point. You know, there's not much else you can do with your life at the point.
No, my injuries as well made me... I think it kind of helped me mature a lot quicker because when you're a young bloke, you do think you're a little bit invincible.
Yeah.
And you know, especially when you're a sportsman, you kind of figure out that you're not made of glass.
Yeah.
But then I figured out that I also wasn't invincible pretty fucking quickly when I completely broke my shoulder in half. And it's never been the same since.
Yes. I
sleep on it wrong and it hurts. It starts to rain in my shoulder like it's going to rain. And I'm like, thanks. Can you heal properly, please?
The metal in your shoulder just starts quivering.
Let's stop having conversations at 4 a.m. and you fucking actually heal, maybe.
That's wild.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, thankfully, I've broke my leg when I was a kid, but beyond that, and the most recent stuff, fairly healthy, and injury-free, which I'm pleased about.
Look at you.
I know.
Didn't chase after anything.
Well,
I mean,
there was plenty of sport. I mean, geez,
you played smart sports like tennis.
I did. Well, I did tennis and cricket, but I did do union for 2 years,
you did?
AFL for a while.
True, that was in your 20s as well.
Soccer for a while. Yeah, union. I definitely got a few concussions.
Football, Guy.
Yeah, but we're in Australia.
But that's footy.
Yeah, but I want to be clear, the audience, who knows?
Enough,
but that is true, football.
The old socceroons.
I mean, because footy to me is AFL, which, I know I'm probably in a niche there. But the concussions were the big one for me. I got concussed that many times.
You did.
I've
also had a handful of concussions. Awful things.
I reckon it's my memory. My memory is very bad. Speaking of which, memory, Doom. Did you do your homework?
I did.
Fucking look at that.
And you know what? Pleasantly surprised.
Very, mate, so am I. I rewatched it because I didn't want to send you on this mission alone. I rewatched it. And I know our listeners, this is a niche movie from 20 fucking years ago. Why do we care so much about it? But Taylor loves the Doom games, didn't know this movie existed. So we gave him the homework to watch it. What's your review?
Oh, it was good. And you know what? What happened to The Rock? What happened to his genuine acting ability? Because he fucking had it back then.
He actually, I watched it. I was like, he's actually good.
He had stretch marks and he looked a little weird.
With
that, how everyone was just a bit uglier back then?
Yeah.
They had that 2005 tan going on.
Yeah.
But now, he had a bit of stretch marks going on. But his acting ability was fucking genuine then.
Rosalind Pike, Carl Urban, they looked like people. They didn't come across like movie star level stuff.
True.
There was a humanity to them.
Soldiers and scientists.
Yeah, I watched it and there is a little bit of Alien 2 about it. There's a little bit of Resident Evil about it, but it kind of holds up. I was quite surprised.
Who is in the Aliens? Who's the girl in the Aliens?
Sigourney Weaver.
Because old mate from Doom, they're similar as well. They give off similar vibes.
Well, yeah, just boss kind of character vibes sort of thing. But the Doom movies, the things I really liked about it was I feel like really before a lot of other movies maybe got into this realm was the blood infection stuff. Because at the end, it's Dwayne The Rock being infected with, the virus that selects, are you going to get a chromosome to make you more powerful or make you a monster? He gets the monster thing. Carl Urban gets makes you the Doom guy level
they go
G.
separate ways there.
They go separate ways. But a lot of movies since then have taken on that kind of chemically warfare kind of thing. But I feel
like Walking Dead.
Walking Dead,
you mean
yes.
Virus? Or?
Yeah, Virus. like because the Alien movies, when Ridley Scott returns to it, you know, they do a lot more of that, like the black gooey stuff getting in his eye, and then the woman gets it in her womb and stuff. Like it all gets a bit rough, but they kind of did it a little bit earlier, you know.
It kind of paved the way for it.
Maybe not pave the way for it, because the first Alien movie had the face hugger.
True.
But there is parallels anyway, whatever. But I'm glad you watched it.
Yeah, I thought it was, I walked into it being like, this is going to be shit.
So did I.
This is going to be so bad, because you know why? I was thinking it's going to be a dog shit game adaptation to movie. It's got The Rock in it, who I know is a cheesy actor.
Yeah.
To be fair, I did it a disservice by not looking at the rest of the cast. I just went off the IMDb rating of 5.2, which isn't an accurate rating.
Mate, it's kind of flooring my rating system a little bit. I mean, even Assassin's Creed,
40 minutes
both of
in,
them had really good casts and actually performed well. Like,
yeah, I mean, 40 minutes into Doom, I was like, that's right. Like, movies back then were good. They were good.
Yeah, I think
even the shit movies back then were good. Like, because that would have been classed a bad movie back then. That's why it rated so poor.
I actually, I kind of agree with you, yeah.
With all the shit that we get through today and all the cheesy bullshit in Hollywood and just churning out honestly, just crap.
Yeah.
You go back and you watch an average movie from 2005 and you're like, yeah. It's like an 8 today.
It's an
like
interesting one. It is interesting, yeah. Like, because I was expecting it to be terrible like you based on the rating. But the storyline was creative and relatively unique, acted well. The only part that I probably lessens it is that a little bit of the graphics and a bit of the monster sort of stuff. It's like they kind of went this, like, you know...
That's where they saved money.
Yeah,
but it was still pretty good. I thought it was
surprisingly, they didn't actually save money in it. Like, maybe back then, because they opted to go with real costumes instead of it being all digitally enhanced.
Yeah.
You know, I was reading the IMDb trivia, as I always tend to do with any movie I watch. But yeah, so like they went with that, which probably would cost a little bit more back then. Maybe. I don't know. Well, graphic design now, they're saying, is cheaper than going any real live stuff.
Or just AI.
Or just, you know, AI creating it. Yeah. But the monsters, I just think were a little bit hokey. It kind of reminded me of like Power Ranger monsters sort of stuff.
Yeah, but you're not really in it for the monsters. Like, there's so much storyline outside of those monsters creeping around in there, and the kind of character arcs that our protagonists go on.
To be fair, yeah, I mean, compared to an Alien where the monster is the be all end all kind of thing, apart from the AI guy going crazy. But yeah, I see your point.
All in all, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Would recommend if you're just chilling. Look, you have to be into action.
Gore. Yeah, it's an action.
If you're not into action, don't waste your fucking time.
I mean, it's a sci-fi action movie from 20 fucking years ago,
and it followed the game pretty well. Were you kind of watching it, being like, "This is exactly what Taylor's reviewing"?
Well, I mean, yes, the Mars, the portal opening. Yeah, there was they
Doom
did.
Guy being a Marine as well.
They took from the core, you know, sort of source pretty well. Yeah. Like, you know, the first person shooter part's a little bit sort of Time Crisis 2 in an arcade, but whatever. It wasn't that bad of a movie. Anyway.
Any corrections?
We've kind of really just dropped corrections corner.
Anything from Kyle's corner? You know what's weird? We're getting to that point where we've done a fair few episodes now. Yeah. I actually can't remember too much of what we spoke about in previous episodes. It's kind of like a blur now.
I'm listening. Well,
I need to write corrections down.
Yeah. I know what you mean in the sense of like, well, even yesterday when we were talking about what we were going to do in the final episode, I was like, did we ever do an episode of my re-review of Baldur's Gate 3? I couldn't even remember us recording that. And then I had to go through Spotify and there it fucking was. Yeah. But no, I agree with you. Like, you know, we've done however many hours now of content. You know, if you were to go, what was Ep 6 about? No idea. Yeah. You know, that's an age ago now. Time goes too fast.
Anyway, no corrections.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle obviously was like texting us live as he was listening to a thing, and he was like, "You guys can't remember the name of that stupid game, Returnal."
The more unlikely reason is we've just gotten that good at podcasting, we don't make mistakes.
I definitely think our quality has improved over the time. Like, if you were to listen to those first 3 episodes, it's a little bit rough and jarring, but
I don't know. My reviews have been shit the whole way through. It's not my strong point. My strong point is getting on here and talking.
Just talking. Just
being a host.
Well, I have a page of notes for Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
But the last thing I just wanted to cover off is Balatro. So
is it Balatro or Balatro?
It could be either. I don't know. I haven't heard any of the game creators say it. So this was a Game of the Year nominee. And I saw it on the list and I was curious by it because it didn't to me. Like, I sent you that photo of the last 10 years of Sony exclusive Game of the Year nominations. For the last 10 years,
I almost
Sony
fainted.
I know, you were beside yourself. But straight after I sent it to you, I then went and looked at Xbox's exclusives over the same amount of time. And like, Xbox used to do this as well. Like, you know, Sony's not alone in that. You know, Xbox did hold cards to their chest of going, we want these games to be exclusive. The only problem was theirs just weren't as good. Like, that's the crux of the matter.
Yeah. I think that the platforms have gone about it differently.
They have now. They've definitely
Sony
schismed
has
hard.
gone bid high, win big.
Yes,
I think
they've gone
Xbox,
big budget games.
I think Xbox more went the other way. They kind of listened to the Roadhouse publishers.
Yeah.
Those smaller and those smaller publishers tried to win deals with selective platforms. And I think that's kind of the way that Xbox went about it. And they've lost out big time. Look, I've got nothing against the games that Sony wins over.
Yeah.
I've just got a problem with holding on to them because they just want to win more business.
I agree with you on that.
It's like they want a monopoly over the console market,
which
is dog shit.
I know, which is interesting because you're like, surely the console war has finished. As in, like, anybody by now,
you're not making big inroads.
I don't know. I mean,
I
don't know the numbers on
right?
this, but surely the quantity of people buying consoles eventually tapers off. It has
100%.
to. Where every person who was going to buy a console bought a fucking console.
How much more can you grow?
At that point, surely you go, let's release our games on both platforms to generate as much money as fucking possible.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
That's one that I'm sure there's a fucking reason.
But that's the thing.
I don't know if it's the development cost, you know, of doing it on two consoles. There's a whole different, like, you know, sort of processing system you have to align it to.
Or maybe it's just the reach that Sony's trying to have as a brand.
Yeah.
Like, if we dominate in gaming, maybe we'll start to leak more into TV sales, things like that. Whereas Microsoft has Office. Microsoft is not short on money. They don't need that brand recognition by owning these particular games. As a gaming platform, they don't even... It's kind of like their plus one. Like, that operating system is such a huge part of that brand.
Yeah.
They don't need it.
I mean, but I don't know if Sony's doing it on a branding exercise because, I mean, it's Sony. I think Sony are doing it like, I think it may be still an archaic rule of back in the day of going, we've paid to develop this game. It's ours. We're not giving it to the competitor. It's going to be on ours alone, which is interesting of Xbox now purchasing Bethesda, you know, which was an isolated studio. And then now Xbox is even saying they're going to release it on the PS5. You know, some of these games are going to be exclusive, some of them are going to be on the PS5. So I feel like they are definitely now going two very contrary ways of going about it. I think Sony's probably almost going, Microsoft is going to buy out probably any developer that's independent, left, right, and center, and then go, we might give it to Sony, we might not. And Sony's just going, we got to hold the only cards we got at our chest here.
This is going to go on the same bell curve or down the same road that streaming did, especially with sport. Is that like you had to have Foxtel or you had to have Optus, right? And then now there's KO. Yeah. There's that middleman that's like, we'll make it all inclusive. It's going to go on in 10 years' time, mate. There's going to be, I don't know what happens to Xbox because there's talks about it becoming completely cloud-based, no console.
I saw that.
Arguably, Microsoft through Windows already owns PC gaming.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know what happens to Microsoft, whether they leak. But that's the thing. In economics, you can't have a monopoly. And I know Switch is still in there, but if you get rid of Xbox, Sony goes straight through the roof where everyone comes over to PC.
So the ex-Sony boss of gaming recently said that he believes that in the near future, consoles will be obsolete completely.
Yeah.
That they will close them both down and it will be PC from that point forward and everybody will just plug in their controller to their PC and that's how they play.
Or it'll be like how long before smart TVs become smart monitors, right? It's like how long since you've had a DVD player?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Well, my TV can hold all the apps. How long until monitors
just hold the whole computer
to have your cloud-based gaming system attached to it?
Yeah.
And that's just what it becomes. And it's just all cloud-based.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Because we're moving away from discs already. I know you still get discs.
Well,
for
yeah,
PS5,
just I don't know.
But like my latest Xbox S or XS didn't have it.
Yeah, it's the classic sort of thing of, think about technology back when computers were invented and they're taking up a whole floor of a building. A whole building is just the computer. And now, it's in a small contraption underneath our desk. And often you look in them and you go, graphics card, processor, this.
GPU,
and
CPU.
you go, okay, you could probably stack them on the back of a monitor.
100%.
And you wouldn't need a tower anymore.
The only thing is the cooling system.
But I mean,
which is an
you know,
important
like,
one, especially for
I'm
the
sure
the
you could put it
graphics of
through a
these.
TV, like,
Probably.
eventually. Anyway, but yeah, so that was a
Interesting
huge
thought, though.
sidetrack. Yeah.
Interesting thought.
To Balatro. So Balatro,
Yes.
Game of the Year nominee. It was the only one on there that, like, there was the Final Fantasy redo. There was Astro Boy we've talked about. Then there was Black Myth Wukong. Which
I'll say it again. I was still gunning for 40K.
yeah, I'm
100%.
comparing it to previous years. This year has the most weirdest variety I've seen in a long time. So Balatro, checked it out,
Stay on top
downloaded it on my iPhone because you can get it on your iPhone. This game is Texas Hold'em against a computer that you then get scored on how high the value of your cards are, and it's a roguelike where jokers have powers. And you basically see how deep in this game you could go. When you lose, you have to start again. And
It's like Magic the Gathering through Texas Hold'em.
it's like, I'm trying to think of an example. It's kind of like Gwent married with Texas Hold'em, married with a roguelike Returnal.
Does that... Okay, I get it's addictive, but
Yeah.
like there should be better games this year to knock that out of the
That is-
nominee list.
Surely.
Surely.
It blows my mind because not only that, on iPhone, there's plenty of games like this, of these card-like, roguelike games. Like, it's a real, you know, and I've played a lot of them. I don't know why. They're the thing I gravitate to on my iPhone.
You like
when
turn-based.
I listen to music and I play that as I go to work. But this one, so like I've started playing it and like it is addicting and I am enjoying it and it has made me stay up late a couple of hours being like, I'm going to finish this run like any stupid roguelike player knows that you just go, I have to finish this run like a completionist fucking nerd I am. But to be a Game of the Year nominee and to be better than Space Marine 2, to be better than, you know, a lot of the games that came out this year, like I know it's probably unique, creative. Whoa, Texas Hold'em in a roguelike, that's really different. I don't get it.
Yeah, and I think let's unpack this next episode, but just after the hype that we had around this year, I think overall how kind of disappointing it's been. I think especially with Assassin's Creed Shadow being
Getting pushed, yeah.
I think that was a headliner that this year needed. But let's unpack that next episode.
It's interesting because like the feedback coming out from Assassin's Creed Shadow, you know, is they pushed it because it wasn't ready yet. There are concerns of comparisons against Ghost of Tsushima and games like that.
I'm not upset they've done it. I'm just saying I think this year needed a game like that.
Yeah,
Needed something Ubisoft driven that was good.
I mean, Ubisoft, I'd push back on that of going, Ubisoft's run rate at the moment is
terrible.
Really bad.
But they do the Assassin's Creeds well.
I mean, I feel like though a lot of people have very polarizing opinions of Assassin's Creed. You either are with them or you're like dog shit games. It's like now COD they churn it out every year.
Yeah.
They whack a new coat of paint on it and you go, what are you really revolutionizing the way this plays?
Yeah.
There has been standouts, don't get me wrong. You know, Black Flag will forever hold a place in my heart. Assassin's Creed Origin, pretty good. Going to Egypt, they're finally doing the mainliners. Unity was a miss. There's a bunch of misses in there.
It's just like when I don't know. I feel like when I don't have an Assassin's Creed going, my gaming journey at the time just feels a little empty. And I think I know Ubisoft dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Especially with under-delivering on titles that they should honor, like Star Wars, for example. Right, like that's something you can't fuck up. That's got a huge cult following.
That was the game that should have been the popper of this year.
But I still really love Ubisoft.
Yeah,
as a developer, as a publisher.
As games go, you know, they're good for a completionist. I enjoy doing it. I feel like Ghost of Tsushima has a bit of Assassin's Creed kind of vibe about it. But just did it way better. Just nailed it. Like just knocked it out of the park.
Well, let's get on to Ghost of Tsushima because I agree with that.
Okay, so it came out in 2020. Then it came out on PC this year, which is how you were able to play it. Correct. They released a DLC a little while ago. I think that was sort of a year or two ago. They released a multiplayer component of it as well. Done by Sucker Punch and their previous titles, Sly Cooper and Infamous. Infamous being a title from back in the day. Really enjoyed those ones when I was younger. 13 million units sold. You know, so this is a very high-selling game. Yeah. It was nominated for Game of the Year in 2020, the year it was released. Listen to the people it was up against. So it was up against The Last of Us Part 2, Animal Crossing, Doom, and Hades. You compare that year, 2020, to this fucking year, and you just go, those games, Animal Crossing took the world by storm. Every dude's girlfriend was hooked into Animal Crossing during COVID and addicted to that fucking game.
Animal Crossing is one of those ones that it's like you look at it and you're like, it's like the dark horse. You're like, nah, that's not going to win this race. And then you look back 2 months later and it's like the fucking size of a stallion. You're like, what happened here?
That game got its claws into some people. Like they were hooked on that like it was the pokies. It was insane.
It's just textbook engaging, reward-based gaming.
Yeah.
And
it was Pokemon for chicks. Like, no offense, but like, you know, of just
Pokemon and Minecraft, Pokemon and Sims.
And Sims,
girls love Sims.
Yeah, it was a combo of those.
Girls love top-down.
Yeah,
being creative.
Yeah.
Looking after things.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. I you know, when I was younger, I played Sims for a little bit. Although, admittedly, I was making pools without ladders. You know, if you know what my reference is there.
Also, I'm not. Hang on, I'm worried about me calling out what girl gamers like. That's not me boxing anyone into a preference. That's me just you know.
I think we could all agree without it being questionable on the nose.
This is my first experience with potentially getting cancelled. I don't know. We have a following now.
To be honest, mate, when you posted to Instagram, you popping off about Sony and swearing, I was like, we may get a fucking letter in the mail.
No, we're fine.
Okay,
no,
so
that is a big year for gaming.
It was a huge year and compared to this year, massive. So going into the pillars now. So, you know, look, it Ghost of Tsushima, whatever. A lot of people have played this, so I'm not going to bore everybody to tears going through this a great degree. So storyline, world building. 1274 was the year it was set. The Mongols arrive on this island in Japan. The samurai go to defend it. They're wiped out immediately. One guy is pretty much left standing. He is the son of a previously slain sort of general. His uncle's the shogun, or sort of the dude who lives around town.
Bang on.
And he then goes on this journey, and the whole game kind of revolves around his decisions about being an honorable fighter and taking the enemy on head first,
being a samurai,
or being a ninja-like character who hides in the shadows, kills people when they're not looking. What largely samurais would believe is a dishonorable way about going about what they do. And so you can switch between game styles throughout the course of it, deciding sort of how to handle any interaction. And it's fantastic just as a premise that is the core mechanics of the game, and it breeds into the story of the game of how do they handle these situations and how do you face an enemy that is a dishonorable enemy. The Mongols, they don't exactly, you know, the very first interaction you've got is them lighting a dude on fire, you know, without facing him or fighting him or anything. So
yeah, and they're cutting off food supply lines and doing all these tactics, right? Yeah. And I think that this embodies the saying, like, live and die by the sword kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like what would you choose? I would certainly choose to pivot and adapt.
Well, yeah, I mean,
like,
how do you fight a dishonorable enemy? Like, the only way is to fight them fire with fire kind of stuff and play their games, you know, because otherwise, what's he going to do? Do exactly what the guy did at the very start and get lit on fire.
Exactly.
Just because he's out in the open and he's got no cover.
And I think when you're the last fucking one, stakes are higher.
Yeah.
You start thinking, okay, hang on, maybe I don't commit seppuku here. Maybe I actually pivot and adapt.
Pop out
maybe
and shank some dudes.
Resources. Maybe I'll learn how to use a bow. Maybe I'll fucking use this little suicide knife a couple of times.
Go for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny. I've played that game twice now, and I never attached his second blade being the seppuku blade.
Oh, you never figured that out?
You saying it just then was like, of course it fucking is. How did I not figure that out?
And he uses that as kind of the ninja.
Of course he does. Yeah, of course he does.
And that's part of the whole.
Well, I feel like I fell asleep during like a cutscene where it explained that.
Just I feel like phone again. Just
you know what it is? Every single listener who's played that game is just like
just forehead slaps right now. Oh.
Anyway, so the DLC, he goes to this other island. There's 4 islands. This is the 4th island. He goes to this island. And it's all flashbacks of his childhood and his father's relationship and how his father dies. It brings in a new enemy type. It's got its own storyline, obviously a new island. It's got new challenges and just a new coat of paint. It doesn't take you super long. You know, I'd say probably it took me maybe 8-9 hours to kind of clear it through. It really enjoyed going back into that world. It annoyed me that I had to replay Act 1. At first I was really enjoying it, but then I was like, me being fucking me, started going to every bamboo fucking thing just to get my character stronger to when I do the DLC. I didn't need to do that. I could have just gone.
Well, that's how I've been doing it. That's how I've been doing it.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, I've played it already. Like, it's just.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Why am I doing it again?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm breaking my own rule, but I did enjoy a lot of replaying it because it is visually such a good game. It is that I don't know many other games where you stand on a cliff's edge with a vista ahead of you and you just get lost in the moment a little bit. You're kind of looking at it, the flute's playing,
Mate.
you know, you're riding through these hills and the green grass and the wind flowing and you're just like, you feel really immersed. It's visually amazing.
Ghost of Tsushima is a perfect game to come home to from a long day at work.
Oh, isn't it just? The unwinding element is so good.
It embodies all of those really endorphin flowing kind of things. Like how beautiful it is when it's a sunny day. How good it sounds in your headphones when it starts raining and you're on your horse.
Yeah, the lightning cracking.
Whilst I think the map was a little bit empty and the world was a little bit empty, you still come across things that are pleasant surprises, side missions.
At the
places
start
of loot, places where good loot are. Like it's just all those things where you're like, I can do this alone. There's no time constraint. Yeah, and I can just fucking listen to the ASMR and just enjoy this.
Yeah. And it is very satisfying doing the sort of the extra things about it, the bamboo strikes, the following the yellow birds, finding new swords and new kits and stuff. It is very satisfying game to play. And, at the start when you're coming across those, sort of group of Mongolians and they've captured somebody and, you can just jump off your horse and attack them. But at the start, you're like, yeah, cool. And you kind of save them every time. By like hour 10, you're like, fuck him. Yeah. I'm riding past. Brother.
It also gave me, it made me reminisce on the first time walking into like Valentine in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah,
right.
Like
that's how this game made me feel. The experiences were very different.
Yeah.
But that's how it made me feel. It's just a game that makes you feel good.
It does. Yeah, it's a heart warmer. And like I love the shots where it's like, you're versing a boss and you're standing eye to eye across like the war zone or whatever it is. There's like it's lightning cracking and the leaves are flying through and he just pops his samurai sword.
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
Just go crazy on it. So good.
So good.
Okay, so storyline world building. It's a 10. I can't fault it. Yeah,
it's hard to take marks
I was in it from the get-go all the way through. The only mark that I may mark it down on is sometimes the NPCs rabbit on a fucking bit. And when you're like going and doing side quests and stuff, they're giving you their whole life story and just like, come on, like,
Yeah, let me help you out in the here and now.
But it's such a minor grievance, and probably
your husband's dead. Okay, the water's been poisoned. Thank you.
Yeah, like and playing the DLC, there was just certain parts where I was just like, God, like this is a lot of talk. Can we quickly move on here?
It begs the question: how much storyline do you bring into a game? Where's the fucking sweet spot?
I mean, we've talked about it before.
And the sweet spot is whatever Red Dead Redemption 2 was doing. That's the fucking sweet spot.
I want these gaming companies, when they get testers to do this, if they're playing the game and you see them start pulling out their phone, they're like, right, cut the script there. Yeah. That's the conversation.
What are you doing? Like, doing the codex. How many pages is it? 4. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. Field mechanics. Have we done field mechanics?
No, yes. Okay, field mechanics, thank you. So the duality and the differences between going in guns blazing or sneaking around, the tools, the stances, all the leveling up is nicely done. The new armor sets you can get, the helms, the heavy bow, the explosive bow, all the various tools at your disposal. The mechanics of the game are perfect. It feels clean, fast, the timed moments when you come across and you take them head on and you get to shink 3 dudes quickly and you're moving quickly around the battlefield. The skill sets that you get advanced into where you can assassinate 3 dudes quick succession. And when you do the DLC, you get some armors that really change up how combat works, that if you do a perfect parry, then you can quickly dart the battlefield and kill 3 dudes really quickly.
Yeah.
It's just, by the end when you're playing that game and you're coming across like 60 dudes in a bloody Mongolian camp and you just rip through them.
So good.
And you just walk back, there's just piles of dead bodies of
So
these
good.
guys.
Yeah.
The field mechanics are faultless. It's a 10. I will die on that hill.
I would say Ghost of Tsushima is a perfect example of less is more done so well.
Just to perfection.
Don't overcomplicate it. Have the mechanics, do them well, and let the character or the player build on them.
Yeah.
And let them decide how they go about it. Perfect.
Admittedly, like when I first picked it up again, I did dodge a lot more. Like I was sort of, but then you quickly,
know me and parry.
Well, but then halfway through, I'm kind of like, I kind of like parry better because you level it up and you're like,
Counterattack,
I'm now killing on
Yeah.
one shot on the parry instead of dodging around too much. So it was good. Challenge and entertainment. So I'll talk about it and then give the rating. So entertainment visually, we've talked about how appealing it is.
So good.
Unbelievably good. The difficulty, I didn't find it too difficult, but you can increase the difficulty. And when you put it up to the max, everybody becomes like one-shot kill, even yourself. If you get one thing wrong, you're dead and back to a checkpoint, which I kind of like. I didn't bother myself playing it, but for any person who's sort of wanting the realism element of it, that would be pretty fun. It almost not a bit Elden Ring or maybe Sekiro kind of vibe about it, of sort of one-shot kill difficulty.
Yeah. I think also how you go about your missions, it was very Assassin's Creed-esque in terms of scout the area, figure out how you're going to do it. Do you want to do stealth?
There was a lot of climbing.
Fun but easy. Fun but easy is probably the way I put most of this game. Look, there are challenging moments in it.
Yeah, the boss fights, a lot of them when they become unique moves and you have to learn the new move sets.
And the challenge comes in interesting ways, like having to kill an attacker before they kill hostages. That's an interesting way to bring a challenge into it.
Yeah,
because it's not really the combat that challenges
you have to break that fight to run to kill that guy.
Yeah, it's actually what I'm prioritizing. So I'm keen to see what you gave this out of 10 because it's kind of done well. There's pros and cons to it, I think.
So with playing the base game, I didn't find it that challenging. When I did the DLC, they bring in this new enemy that like does a war chant. And everybody who hears that war chant gets like amped up and they start attacking you way faster. And they're really hard to break their stances.
They're poised.
They're poised. And also like they attack quicker, so you've got to be really much faster. So the challenge went up a degree.
Okay.
So I've given it a high mark of 9.5.
Wow. This is tracking very well so far.
It is tracking really well. And going back to the field mechanics, the four stances and how you move between them, if you hold like L2 or whatever
seamless.
it is and switch, because in the DLC, some of the enemies come at you with a pike and then after you do a quick attack, they put the pike away and pull out swords and they change it. And so that makes you change how you're attacking. So that's a genius way of doing different types of combat. Okay, well, yeah. Character build development. So we've talked about the level up progression is really well done, layered with the way the story unfolds. Fantastic. The build sort of tuning of it. Obviously, by the end, you unlock pretty much everything. But as you're playing the game, most people will take a journey of either I'm going sneak heavy or I'm going combat heavy. And so when I first played it, I probably did more sneak. This time I've done more combat. I've enjoyed the combat probably a lot more because then you dip into the sneak. If you go, I don't care about clearing this Mongol camp without raising alarm. I'm just basically walking up to the front gates and going like, fight me. And they all come charging out and then you just rip through them, which is so satisfying. So the build side of it is strong, but obviously somewhat linear. And that's where I'm probably going to remove a mark or two. The character actual development of Jin Sake, fantastic.
Amazing.
Just faultless, such a great journey to go on. His portrayal of that character, and I'm sure they did, the green dots on his face and there was a lot of character acting. Same with the main bad guy, the uncle, just fantastic. So I've given this a flat 8.
Okay, I would agree
Purely
with that.
for the linear pathways of the level progression, despite how well they were done.
Yeah, I also think that, again, with the build especially, it's a less is more thing, not done as well. Like, I think sometimes with build, more autonomy, more choice is better.
Yeah.
But they chose to keep it rather simplistic. So I think
Which works.
It works.
It works within the world they've created. Like the way in which they've got the reeds that you sneak in and sort of the going underneath walls and between walls and, it works well.
Absolutely. But you put build in Ghost of Tsushima beside builds in Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I think that's where it loses points.
It
you go,
does.
here's the best of the best.
Yeah.
And here's what Ghost of Tsushima did. And they did it well.
Yeah.
But I think it loses a couple
It fits the game as well. Like, so that's why it's still fantastic.
But it's good. Credit to them. They picked the lane. They nailed it.
They did. So Loot and Extras, this is for me, the pin-up game of how to do loot and extras well. It is the armor, the hot springs, the bamboo, the flutes, the way you clear villages, the armor sets, the way you can change your armor sets and do this hat and this armor kit, change the coloring of it. There's a satisfaction in wanting to get more of them and see how cool of a guy you can kind of create.
The rewards for finding them were really good too.
They were really good.
It's like we spoke about this ages ago in an episode about The Legend of Zelda and how disappointing some loot are.
Yeah.
Some pieces of loot are when you find them. And you're like, I went on 4 hours of the journey here and you're going to give me a fucking silver rupee.
Yeah.
And like with Ghost of Tsushima, opposite side of that coin.
Yeah,
it's
totally
like, actually,
opposite.
I'm really incentivized to find 10 of these.
Yeah. So on that note, there was on the DLC, there's one quest line that I thought was bugged out and wasn't completioning for me. And like I swore I did it and I was really annoyed by it. I went on about an hour and a half Reddit deep dive and I don't know if you've ever experienced this, where you've got a problem in a game and you can't figure it out. You Google it and immediately it takes you to a Reddit page, and then Reddit takes you down a comment section. I scrolled this Reddit comment section of people not quite figuring out the same problem I had, but slightly different. And there was about 5 or 6 ways people solved it. They said it was a bug, you have to fast travel to this map to do this, and blah, blah, blah. Tried all of it. About 50 comments down, there was one comment going, you've got to go back to this tree stump and pick up a resource, a single resource from a tree stump. I went and did it. This took me 2 hours just to see a 3 turn into a 4 on the fucking achievement list of within the game. It is like, I swear I'm OCD to a level of doing, why did I care that much? But nonetheless, I did it. So the whole DLC of Ghost of Tsushima, I'm putting in the loot and extras because it's add-on, released afterwards. Yeah. Fantastic addition of a new island, new enemy, new content, new combat. Just really great add-on. The multiplayer was apparently fantastic. I never played it, but it was a really good change-up as well. They made it a little bit mystical. You know, it wasn't quite as real as the game is. But yeah, a 10. I can't fault it. You can't find any region in there of going, it loses marks. So, you know, if you sort of the averages, what it ends up as?
9.5?
Yeah, I mean, it is...
Because we went 10, 10, 9, 8. Oh, no, we went 10, 10, 9.5, 8, 10.
Yeah. It is a fantastic game. If you haven't played it, it's now out on PC. Take the time. Try to get your hands on it. If you haven't played it, it's worth it. It's
really
just worth
is.
it.
It's actually hard to... there's never a dull moment. You're never not having fun. Nothing feels like a chore. Fighting combat's good. And when you sit back and you say all that about a game, it's hard to say it's not a top-notch game. Like this is. I'm not surprised it was up for Game of the Year against those other liners.
If any other of those games, you put any other of those games in this year, they probably win.
Easy.
Which blows my mind. Like, you could even put fucking Animal Crossing in this year's and it will probably give Black Myth a run for its money.
Yeah, mate, 100%. Like, yeah, I don't disagree. And, like, we'll unpack this next episode, but when we cap off the year, because we're going one more.
One more.
We're going one more.
The
age-old gaming say, one more. Should we play till we win? Till we win?
If we do that with podcasting, we might hear a fucking while. Yeah.
It's so true, but one more, and we'll unpack the year because, yeah, like after how excited I was for this year, and how many things I think let us down. Can I just say, I'm so excited about gaming over the holiday period.
Yeah.
And you know what I want to get back to?
What?
I want to actually play some fucking Christmas-themed Deep Rock Galactica.
Wow, I did not think you were going there.
I really wanted to. That is just... You know when you reminisce on the holiday season, and there's always a game that
because we did that was last Christmas.
I think it was last Christmas, because we reviewed it shortly after.
Yeah.
For a while, it was GTA for me because that dropped very close towards the end of the year in 2010 or 11 or whenever it came out.
Yeah,
so that was constantly in my mind when holiday season came around. Then it was Apex for a while. With the LTMs
Apex
they did
was a few years,
but now I just want to play DRG.
Yeah, fair. Well, we got to get Kyle in on it because it's a great multiplayer game to do.
Just fucking party up and just kill some aliens.
DRG is one of those ones where I feel like so we're talking about the game Deep Rock Galactic. And anybody who kind of hears of this game, they might look at it from an outside perspective and go, what? Like, what the hell? And I remember you and
We're ready to prestige as well, mate.
We've got a whole, I know.
Us.
I remember you and I kind of sussing it out, having a look at it, and we were like, let's give it a go. Like multiplayer, like we'll have a chat while we're playing it. And it kind of got its hooks into it. And like a game like that where you're looking forward to jumping on the box to have a chat with your mates as you do a little fucking thing. Even now, we played that game around a year ago. I still remember some of the levels we did.
Yeah, me too.
Of us charging around those fucking mines.
I remember the objectives.
Trying to find those little
lilies. Which is crazy for you because you have the fucking memory of a goldfish, my friend.
I do. So, okay. My question for the hat
fucking
for
load
you,
it up.
Yeah. My question for the hat for you was, what game are you most looking forward to playing over the holidays? Obviously, we got one more episode, but
I'm loving Silent Hill right now.
Yes,
really loving it. I'm also really looking forward to doing a second run through of. Firstly, Remnant. I'm going to do a shit ton of game over this holiday period.
Nice.
The DLC for Remnant, the DLC for Ghost of Tsushima, 100% going back through and doing the DLC for Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. I'll do that again.
Right, okay.
DRG, Deep Rock Galactic, and Silent Hill. I'm hooked on Silent Hill at the minute because of how good this second release has been, especially post-movie.
How many days off are you having over the holidays?
It doesn't fucking matter, mate.
Well,
I'm that work from home. Just Xanthopus.
Okay. Because honestly, if I've got a list of the games I
it'll be
want to
like
play.
10 days.
10 days, okay.
When I say holiday season, I'm talking like next 8 weeks.
Okay, right, okay, all right. Because I'm looking at my list and I'm like, if I can even get one of these done, I'll be pleased over the holiday fucking period. I'm taking a little bit of time off, but not too much. Space Marine 2, I want to play that.
Yeah, 40K.
It's on my list.
I'll get on that
I've got to get into it. Shadow of Chernobyl was another one. Apparently it released. They've done a huge update. It's apparently quite good now. Oh, cool. Might give Dragon Age Veilguard a go. I did the Dragon Age when I was a kid. It's they've done another one. It was a very contentious release. It's another one like the Star Wars one that should have been a Game of the Year nominee and just kind of fell flat for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I've also bought the Order 1886.
I think I saw this on Steam.
Yeah. It kind of was like a marquee release with, I think, the PS4. And it was a short game. But a lot of people are like, it's actually kind of good. So I'm going to give it a go. Give it a roll. So they're the games that are lined up for me.
My eyes are always bigger than my stomach when it comes to gaming. Yeah. I think I have more time than I do.
I know. Yeah.
But getting through Wukong, I was like, I'll get through Wukong in 2 weeks. 70 hours of gameplay. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing right now?
Mate, I mean, that's the problem with what we're doing of a weekly podcast on gaming and a full-time job. It is
one more, and then we'll take a 4-week break.
4-week break, and then we'll come back in the new year with plenty of gaming stuff and what is arguably going to be a way better year for gaming. And in next episode, we'll talk about what are some of the ones we're looking forward to that are primed to release next year.
100%. But until then, thank you for listening.
Keep leveling up and enjoy your time off.
Don't be an NPC. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.